You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And this is the beginning of the biggest week in politics in forever and ever. But the events that are happening this week, the arrest of President Trump is right up there with things that have happened in our lifetime. I mean, there's always things in history, but I'm talking about things that have happened in America and to America in my lifetime. I would put the arrest of Donald Trump up there with 9/11 and the Challenger disaster. Those were big, big things. And there's a big miscalculation going on by the deep state media. Listen, the media is the CIA. Let's face it, right? The media, especially CNN. The deep state are the media, and there's only one political party, all right? The opposition in the political parties is as real as professional wrestling. Let's just be honest here, okay? You know, we got a couple people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and a few others, but the rest of them, you know, are like DeSantis. They're fake, you know? And this miscalculation on their part is amazing. You know, the reason that I bring up 9/11 and the Challenger disaster, 9/11 in particular, it's been a long time. So there's a whole generation of people that are Democrat because they're young Zoomers. They're, you know, don't even know what gender they don't remember 9/11, right? But after 9/11, the country was very, very united. And I remember they had the Concert for America, and Billy Crystal. I think it was the people I think it was Billy Crystal, Whoopi Goldberg, and Robin Williams who organized that because they did those things for the homeless people on HBO. Remember, and I think they had a big role. At least Billy Crystal. And I remember Billy Crystal came out and he says there were no Democrats, there were no Republicans, we're just Americans, and that's how it was after 9/11 for longer than people remember. It was like that for quite a while after 9/11, okay?
It was nice. I mean, 9/11 was awful, but the unity and the patriotism that came after it reminded me of in 1976 with the bicentennial, the feeling good about the country. You're not going to find that anymore. Now people just blame each other and just fight all the time.
And the Challenger disaster was a little different, but that was a big deal too, and that united the countries. And the reason I pick up those two issues is DeSantis, the media, the uniparty, they don't understand how they have united the American people against this incredible injustice where a president of the United States is going to be arrested on Tuesday. And by the way,
it's just incredible. Stormy
Daniels wrote a letter saying that she never had sex with Trump. TMZ had this like 4 years ago. And it made the rounds a couple weeks ago on Twitter again. Michael Cohen has a letter through his attorneys that none of the things he's alleging happened. It was in writing. You know, so all these things have been debunked, and we know what this is. This is he's a political prisoner, and they don't realize how united the country is against this. That's why I'm going to go through some of the polls as the show goes on. Donald Trump's going up in all of the polls. And I'll tell you a thing about 9/11, you know, after 9/11, they passed all that Patriot Act stuff. And then after the threat was over, they kept it. And they've been using the Patriot Act against Trump. That's how they were spying on Trump Tower through the FISA courts. And by the way, whatever happened to that? That illegal wiretapping on Trump Tower, whatever. Why aren't those people in jail?
Exactly.
Why aren't they getting arrested?
Exactly.
You know, what's going on here? So President Trump is going to fly to Manhattan on Monday and then Tuesday surrender. And then he's going to come home to Mar-a-Lago and make an address to the nation. I got an article here I want to go through. This is in the Daily Mail, and it's about President Trump's primetime address that he is planning Tuesday night at 8:15 Eastern Time
if PM. If there's a gag order, which
I'll get to that in a bit.
Thing. Okay.
I'll get to that in a bit. Okay, but he's planning on making an address to the nation at 8:15 p.m. from Mar-a-Lago Tuesday. Now, I wonder if these jerks over at Fox are going to carry that one. You know, are they going to carry that one? You know?
I would imagine everybody will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's must-see TV.
Yeah, so let me go through this article. Donald Trump will deliver remarks Tuesday in his first speech since being indicted by a Manhattan grand jury. And the same day, he's expected to be arraigned in New York. An announcement from his 2024 campaign notes that Trump will speak from his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach on April 4th, that's Tuesday, at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. This indicates that the ex-president believes that he will be back at his estate in Florida by Tuesday evening, despite an arraignment in New York earlier in the day where he will be charged, have his mugshot taken, and be fingerprinted.
Crazy.
A Manhattan grand jury on Tuesday moved to indict, blah, blah, blah. Okay, couple things. We're going to find out, that we're in new territory, so we don't know what's going to happen. But there's a very good chance that a couple things could happen here. I think it's about 70-30 in favor of Trump that they let him go. One thing I've noticed in the past few days since this indictment, the Democrats are being very, very quiet. They're not doing a lot of victory lapping here. So I don't trust them.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
Yeah, they've got something more planned. It doesn't mean they're going to be successful, but they got something more planned. I think it's 70-30 in favor of Trump that he's going to be released from jail and not be held. Okay?
I agree with you because I've read many articles and heard his lawyers say that the Secret Service has a much bigger hand in this than I think that's why they can't go and grab him. The Secret Service won't allow it. They're telling them, if you come, we're not going to let it happen.
Well, yeah.
So they're working, they're protecting the president, and they're probably telling Bragg, you're not going to lock this guy up. We're not going to let it happen. Yeah. It's a security risk. He's not just a regular citizen. He is an ex-president. So I don't think they'll be able to do that after what I've read. Let's hope.
Doesn't mean they're not going to try.
But I don't. Yeah, I mean, especially with this judge, I can't imagine how would he explain not releasing him on bail. This isn't like a violent crime or anything. It's not even really a crime at all.
That's right. So a lot of how this is going to play out, we'll find out as it goes. But I think the Democrats are being too calm, not saying too much. And they've got something else planned. And so far as the Secret Service, there's a lot of people saying the Secret Service won't allow them to do this. They won't allow them to do that. I think what might have happened with the Secret Service were too accommodating when Garland sent the FBI to break into Mar-a-Lago. And if you remember, when they broke into Mar-a-Lago looking for those documents, they went through all of the president's private belongings. They went through Melania's closet. They went through Melania's underwear drawer.
I don't know how that happened with those guys there.
Yeah, and they went through Barron's room and all of his things.
Crazy.
So the Secret Service, I think, had a wake-up call to that, and they're not going to let a violation like that happen to someone they're protecting again.
I would hope not.
So that works in Trump's favor. However, it's 70-30. There is a chance he doesn't get out of the courthouse that day. Second thing is, the judge may not allow him, and by what they may say, because I've seen them talking about this on MSDNC, MS13BC. They've said, well, if he's out, he may incite violence. So they may have to. So they may use that to keep him in, and they've got this activist judge that's overseeing it who should not be allowed to oversee the case. So my prediction is he probably is let go, but it's 70-30 still. 30% they keep him. Then the judge may say he can't leave New York. They may say that he's a flight risk and cannot leave New York. And they may put an ankle bracelet on him and tell him he's got to stay in New York and not come back to Florida.
This is what he's being charged with. I don't even consider them crimes. Okay, this is such a stretch. No crime. These are such small infractions that if they try to strong arm him and put an ankle bracelet and act like, he's not a serial killer. This is ridiculous. I think the Democrats always overplay their hand. Yeah. They can't help it. And I think they're going to do that here. And if they try to put an ankle bracelet and things on him and act like this is a bigger deal than it is, I think that's really going to be a colossal mistake. But these people are not dealing, there was somebody on Newsmax today, she had a lawyer on, and she was interviewing this lawyer who was making all these great points. She said, the problem is you're speaking in logic. She said, these people aren't dealing in logic.
That's right.
And that's true. They're not dealing logically or rationally. They've lost their damn minds.
That's right.
That's what you're dealing with.
So there's 30% probability they keep him in jail. Then there's a pretty good chance the judge says you can't leave New York. That'll stop him from coming back to Mar-a-Lago. He's a flight risk. And then there's a third possibility. And by the way, all three of these things could happen. They could hold him and let him go in a few days. But there's another possibility, and that's what you'd mentioned at the top. And everyone's talking about this. This activist judge could come in with a gag order, which would prevent Donald Trump from speaking and stop him from addressing the nation Tuesday night from Mar-a-Lago. So this is insane. And I got news for you. If Donald Trump had committed crimes, it'd be a different situation. Okay, we'd be talking. The guy has not committed a crime.
No,
he has not committed a crime. In fact, the worst thing that these women have accused him of, because we got two. We got the Playboy model, and I want to remind you guys, the Playboy model may be more articulate. She may be more sophisticated looking, and she may be prettier, but she's a Playboy bunny. She's still a sex worker. She's just a higher class sex worker, okay? And sex workers, really, can you trust sex workers with anything they say? They're not very credible people, okay? They're all in survival mode, saying and doing whatever they got to say to get through any moment in time. So I don't buy any of this, this whatever the other one's name is. But anyway, what they're accusing him of is consensual sex, which I didn't know that was a crime. Maybe consensual heterosexual sex is a crime in New York these days.
Maybe these days, yeah.
But, with all these gender things going on. But that's all they've accused him of. These are all trumped up charges. Now, another thing people keep saying is they just want the mugshot. Well, that's a bunch of nonsense. When have you ever known Democrats to say, okay, we want this, they get this, and then they say, okay, we're done? Democrats have a lot of problems. But one thing that is constant with them is they have a problem with boundaries. Anytime you give in or they get anything, they always want more. So this idea that they just want the mugshot, that's ridiculous. They want the mugshot, and then they want a million other things. So don't fall into that. There's one last thing I got to ask people to please stop doing. Please stop doing this. Do not refer to Donald Trump as the Teflon Don or Teflon Don, okay? That was a name they gave to John Gotti, the mobster, and it meant that nothing would stick to him. Well, he was a criminal. He was a murderer, okay? Gotti was a killer, okay? And a mafia boss. So he was a guy who was a very hardcore criminal. And when you call President Trump Teflon Don or any variation of that, it's almost like you're acknowledging that he's a criminal. He has not done anything wrong. He has not committed any crimes. Another thing, remember I've been telling you guys about not going to protest, be careful of protest. And it's not that you're going to do anything wrong because we're all good people, but people will try to trigger you. Leftists will try to trigger you. And I know some of you were watching my live stream at Starbucks this Sunday morning. And, I go to, on the weekends, I typically go to the same Starbucks to do live streams from. Yesterday I went to a different one. But there's one I go to most often. It's not the one I normally get my coffee at because I don't want the people that give me something to ingest in my body to know, that I'm, that I'm MAGA because, I go there every day to get my coffee and they don't need to know that. I don't try. If I get lucky, they'll just give me decaf. If they're really wokesters, who knows what they'll do, right? But anyway, there's been like a couple guys that are there at the Starbucks that are liberal. The last couple weeks, you may have noticed this. One of them's a homeless guy who's a very big liberal. And the other one is just a liberal guy who tries to trigger me. And today he did something that when I was live streaming that I did not mention in the live stream, but I'll tell you what he did. And this is an example as to why you've got to be careful whenever you're out and about and why you got to be very careful going to demonstrations and protests supporting Trump because of what this guy was trying to do with me this morning. But first, we got to take a quick break and because we're up against a break. And after the break, I want to tell you what the guy was doing during my live stream that you guys watching didn't get to see. And I saw it and kept it from you guys because I knew what he was trying to do. But I'll tell you what the guy did when we get back from the break. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be right back.
The debut medical thriller from Dr. Jenna Podjasic, Particles in the Air, a Dr. Mallory Hayes medical thriller, is now available on Amazon. In this heart-pounding page-turner, Dr. Mallory Hayes, a CDC medical investigator, is dispatched to a camp established by FEMA in the aftermath of a natural disaster. Her mission is to prevent the spread of disease from contaminated water, but what she uncovers is far more terrifying than anything she could have imagined. A deadly pandemic is unleashed, and it's up to Mallory to stop it. This shockingly realistic medical thriller is only something an immunologist like Dr. Podjasic could write, and it's meant to appeal to fans of A.G. Riddle, Michael Crichton, Terry Hayes, Richard Preston, and others. Particles in the Air has already made it to the top 20 under the medical and forensic book category on Amazon. The author is an allergist immunologist whose exceptional expertise in the medical field fuses with heart-pounding suspense. Don't miss out on this must-read book. Order your copy of Particles in the Air right now on Amazon. Are you struggling to connect with your teen? Are you worried about the troubles your teen is facing in today's world? Don't miss out on the ultimate guide to faith-led parenting with the book from Script Seeds, Parenting Teens Through Faith, available on Amazon. Parenting Teens Through Faith is your essential handbook to raising confident, resilient, and empowered teenagers. This book provides practical advice for providing a strong, faith-based foundation for building character, virtues, and resilience in your teen. You'll also discover essential biblical principles for providing hope and confidence, no matter your faith background. Start building a stronger, more resilient family with Parenting Teens Through Faith, available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover editions on Amazon. This book is perfect for church groups. Order your copy right now. Are you planning a destination wedding in Jamaica? Or perhaps you need a personal photographer for your family vacation photos? Look no further than RD Photography. Based in Montego Bay, Jamaica, RD Photography specializes in professional wedding and portrait photography, as well as event photography. Check out their photos on Instagram at RD Photography JM and book today at rdphotojm.com and capture the memories that will last a lifetime with RD Photography. Online at rdphotojm.com.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. So let me tell you what this left-wing lunatic was doing during my live stream at Starbucks, okay? Now, I've been live streaming at this Starbucks the last couple of weeks on Saturday and Sundays, right? And I'm always outside doing my live stream. I get there right when the place opens. They open at 6. I get there between 6 and 6:30, and I'm live streaming by 6:30, and it's dark. And there aren't that many people there. Well, there's a homeless guy who lives there. And
that's nuts. This is a brand new Starbucks. It's nice. It's just opened like a couple months ago.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
It's a brand new Starbucks and
a really nice neighborhood.
Yeah, and this
guy literally lives there.
Yeah, he does. And if you can look this up online. I just did a Google search because I thought this was so strange. Starbucks nationwide has a policy that homeless people can live there. And this guy not only lives there,
that's nuts.
He's got a lot of stuff, and he's got an oxygen machine and a CPAP machine, and he sleeps on the tables outside the Starbucks all night.
Do they plug him into inside the store before they close up, or is there outlets outside?
I'm surprised they don't let him sleep inside, but no, they have an outlet outside where the tables are outside, and he plugs in there. He's got his oxygen machine and his CPAP, and he sleeps over the table. So when you watch me live stream, sometimes you'll hear some noise in the background. That's his oxygen machine and his CPAP. And
I just can't believe they encourage this.
It's bizarre.
Liberals are weird. I mean, this is a business where people go.
Well, and Kathy, these are tables where people eat with their children.
I mean, I don't understand what the logic is. I mean, liberals are weird. I mean, it's one thing to help homeless people. That nothing's wrong with, we want to help people, but to let them like camp at your business and sleep there where people eat food.
Safe. It's not safe.
I mean, this guy's not clean. He doesn't bathe. I mean, and he's laying on tables and then you told me that every time you go there, he's inside and he just hangs out there all day long in the corner.
He hangs out inside once they open.
But this is his home now.
Yeah, but when I'm live streaming, he's a left guy. He's a left winger,
Obviously.
and he was mumbling and groaning last week. Oh, Trump's got the baseball bat.
Brian, how many homeless people are conservative?
Not very many. Not very many.
I would say maybe 1%.
Not very many. And then there's this other guy who's not homeless. He's just like a normal guy, but he's a liberal lunatic.
And he's not normal.
I've only been live streaming here the last couple of weeks on the weekends because there's been so much breaking news going on the weekends. And the reason I don't live stream, people say, why don't you live stream from your studio at home? It's because it's Saturday and Sunday morning. Kathy's sleeping. And yes. I don't want to wake Kathy up early on Saturday and Sunday. And I have a studio that I can live stream from at home with a green screen and everything else. But I don't want to wake Kathy, so I go to Starbucks.
So it's my fault.
No, I just am, I don't want to wake you up. So that's why I go. Yeah. And Kathy, sometimes I come home, Kathy still isn't awake after I'm streaming for sometimes 2 hours.
This is true.
So the first week that I went there, which I guess was 3 weeks ago to live stream, the homeless guy didn't like the MAGA hat. And this other guy who's a regular, he's moaning and groaning, I could tell. And people walk by and stare at me, whatever. And then last weekend, the homeless guy and this other guy started talking about Trump and saying things, trying to get my attention because they don't know exactly what I'm doing, but they know I'm doing some type of live stream. And I got my MAGA hat on and they see the camera, because when I'm live streaming at Starbucks, I'm sitting at a table, I'm live streaming on my iPhone 14 Pro, and I have my iPhone clipped onto a tripod that's about a foot high. So I've got the tripod on my table, and I've got a microphone on, and I'm talking to the thing, and it's going. So they know something's going on like this. So they've been getting very agitated. And yesterday I didn't go to that Starbucks on Saturday, and I went there today, and I felt like these two guys missed me, And I noticed the homeless guy's got some new stuff, Kathy. He's got some I don't know. He must have gone shopping because the homeless guy had a backpack and some other garments on his bicycle and in his stuff with the American flag on them, even though he's this liberal guy. And
I bet he's a veteran.
I don't know.
Does he look old enough to be like a Vietnam veteran? Is he like in his 70s?
This guy looks like he could be a veteran of the First World War.
Okay.
He's been through a lot, this guy. he's
That's true.
Spanish-American War.
I bet he's a veteran.
Yeah. So
veterans like to, walk around with flags and everything.
Him and the regular guy are trying to trigger me. They really don't like me.
And they're not going to stop until they do. They are not going to stop till they get a reaction out of it.
They're never going to get a reaction.
I promise.
So today, I'll tell you what the guy did today. Okay. Last week, they started the conversation about Trump and the baseball bat, which Trump debunked to Hannity this week and everything else. It was a fake picture that they put together, the media. But anyway, so while I'm live streaming today, the liberal, not homeless guy behind me takes out his phone and starts playing Ron DeSantis' speech from Long Island yesterday. And he played it I don't know how long the speech was. He played it the whole time he was behind me while I was live streaming. He's playing this DeSantis speech.
He did that to distract and throw you off.
Nothing's going to distract me.
Yeah, but could people during the live stream hear it?
No, my microphone has noise canceling.
He did that to throw you off.
Yeah, my microphone is a directional microphone with some noise canceling technology in it. So you can hear some things around, but not that much.
What a lunatic.
He's completely insane. And
he's a liberal.
And he kept turning it up louder and louder and louder. And what he's trying to do is get me to say something, to get me to interact. And then the moment that I do that.
Well, he's trying to disrupt your stream too.
Well, he's trying to trigger me to get a reaction out of me. And then what he'll do, him and the homeless guy, they'll escalate it and then try to get me in trouble. Like maybe I won't be able to go to that Starbucks anymore, or who knows where it'll go. You understand what I mean? They're both trying to trigger me to get a reaction.
Yeah.
So they can be each other's witness and accuse me of doing something.
Well, maybe you shouldn't go there anymore. It seems like you're walking into a trap here.
Well, whatever happens will be on the live stream. And if you notice, if you were watching this morning, and I've done this the last couple times, when I go to that Starbucks and live stream on the weekends, usually when I'm live streaming, I just, thanks guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. I'll see you next time I turn on. If you notice, in particular today, I keep the live stream going until I get to my car.
Right.
because the first time that I had interaction with them, as soon as I turned off the live stream, the guy started in on me about Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
So he, if I've got the live stream on, he won't. If anything happens, it'll all be there on the live stream, and I'll be able to show what happens. So anyway, the moral of that story is, I don't think everyone's is as patient as I am. I am untriggerable. Okay. My buttons cannot be pushed. They're dealing with a professional with me. And I've had the biggest liberal trolls on the planet Earth try to trigger me, and it doesn't happen. So these guys they're amateurs messing with the big boys.
Only I can push Brian's buttons.
Yeah. And
I trigger Brian all the time.
All the time. So what I'm telling you is, when you're out and about as a MAGA person, even in Florida, even in Florida, you run into liberals that try to start something with you, like these guys are.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell you all not to go to protest or demonstrations.
It's amazing because you're just minding your own business, really. You're just
having my morning coffee.
Having your coffee, chatting with your friends online, your followers. And these guys are trying to start stuff with you. I mean, who does that? What kind of a grown man tries to start things with a complete stranger?
Yeah, and
because they don't like your politics.
Exactly.
That's what liberals
doesn't
do.
like my hat.
They're insane.
And they're insane. Yesterday I didn't go there, and I felt like today they were missing me yesterday.
Probably.
You know what I mean? On Saturday.
I tell you.
It's bizarre.
Well, you always say that women shouldn't jog on the same path because that's how they get stalked. That's what's happening with you now. You're establishing a routine.
That's right.
So now these guys are going to stalk you, and they know you're going to be there at 6 o'clock every weekend doing your thing. So I feel personally you should travel and go to different Starbucks. There's like 3 or 4 in our area.
Yeah.
And I think you should go to some different ones, mix up your routine a little bit. I know you like to have your morning coffee, but I think that's what you should do. Maybe throw in an Einstein bagel once in a while. Go somewhere different. You could even go to the mall and have coffee at the mall.
Nothing's open that early. There's no place open that early.
Then you know what? Go to Starbucks drive-through, grab your coffee, and then go somewhere else to do the live stream.
Nah.
Mix it up a little bit. I think you're setting yourself up for a problem.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm not doing anything.
No, but you're like a female jogger. You got stalkers now that know your routine.
Yeah.
And I think you need to mix up your routine a little bit.
Yeah. Whatever.
I do.
It's a convenient place to live stream on the weekend. I don't wake you up. I got a nice table.
You could go other places.
I got coffee. It's right there. And it's comfortable and well lit to do the stream in, But anyway, I thought it was hilarious that the guy was playing the Ron DeSantis speech behind me during the whole live stream. Like he's all of a sudden he's a big Republican. He likes to, which tells you everything you need to know about DeSantis. And let's talk about DeSantis.
He said again he's not going to get involved in this extradition.
Yeah.
So he's going back and forth here.
So
he's playing both sides.
So DeSantis is running a presidential campaign, calling it a book tour. And
that's exactly right.
And
he's a real sneak.
And Donald Trump and the Trump campaign believe that that's a campaign finance violation and a crime.
Oh my gosh.
And I agree with them on that. And yesterday, our governor here in Florida went to Long Island and gave a speech, and there were a lot of MAGA people showing up protesting him.
That's right.
In fact, I think we had more MAGA protesters on Long Island than actually attended the speech of DeSantis.
I think you're right. And Trump's team said the same thing. This is his presidential campaign. Boy, he's a real sneaky guy. Writing this book and doing a book tour is allowing him to travel the country and campaign outside of Florida.
Without campaigning.
Without saying, I'm running for president. This is his way of getting in front of other people in other states.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
So while he was in Long Island yesterday, the Governor DeSantis, 2 things are going on in Florida that he should be involved in. One, the arrest of President Trump. Yeah. And the other one, yesterday, while he's up in Long Island giving a speech telling them how great he is as the Florida governor, and he stands up to these wokesters, a pro-life man was arrested protesting at an abortion clinic. Peaceful protester. A pro-lifer was arrested yesterday because he's pro-life. And where's DeSantis? Long Island.
Yeah.
And
he's really screwing up. I don't know what's going on with him.
Governor DeSantis has given up on us here in Florida. And
it seems so.
There are people in Florida that are big DeSantis people, and I'm hearing from people that are really ticked at me for talking about DeSantis this way. But I think DeSantis saved us from himself. He blew his cover. He outed himself. And he's out of his mind. You know, he had a window of an opportunity to be redeemed when this indictment came down. And, you know, like, for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's going to be on 60 Minutes tonight, which I cannot wait for.
You guys know, I put a poll up on your YouTube channel asking people if they were going to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes. And I'll check the poll I put up this morning. And some people said they are not going to watch it because they don't want to support 60 Minutes. You're supporting Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Correct.
We've had almost 500 votes. Will you be watching Marjorie Taylor Greene on 60 Minutes? 78% said they will. 22 said not interested. So, and one person said, I'm not going to watch that liberal crap. I understand, but this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. We want this show to have like ratings that skyrocket.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, they're afraid that they're going to make her look bad. Nobody's going to make Marjorie Taylor Greene look bad. Okay? No. She is, to me, like a female Trump. Mm-hmm. She is way ahead of these people. She is extremely savvy and smart and knows how to play the political game better than anybody I've ever seen. Really, she's good. So please watch her tonight. The liberals are so upset about this. I've seen all these people on Twitter. We're boycotting 60 Minutes, never again, blah, blah, blah. So please watch it tonight. It'll be interesting to see what she says, but the liberals are having a complete meltdown over this interview.
So
it legitimizes her. That's why they don't like it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be on 60 Minutes, and I'm sure America's grandma here, Leslie Stahl, will, try to make her look bad, and they'll portray her in a negative light, but that's okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene will be fine.
They think it makes her look too like a legitimate politician.
Well, she is a legitimate.
She is. We know that, but the left feel that she's not good enough for 60 Minutes. That's like their creme de la creme.
Really?
And for the liberals, and to have her on, they just can't comprehend this. That she's just white trash to these people.
What has Leslie Stahl ever done?
Nothing. Remember Trump said to her all this stuff, and she said, none of that's true, and then it came out to be true. We found out that it was true. She doesn't know what the hell's going on.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be on 60 Minutes tonight, and then she's going to New York to lead the demonstration in support of President Trump, probably at the courthouse in Manhattan.
That'll be amazing.
And why DeSantis should be there.
Let's see what other politicians show up, and I think Lindsey Graham will be there only because he's trying to make money. He is pathetic. He was on Hannity defending Trump, and in the same breath begging for donations for himself. Don't give any money.
I missed that.
Yep. Don't give any money to any politician other than Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those are the only two. We know people that have told us that they have been donating a lot to Trump. A lot of people, $100, $200, whatever you can donate, even if it's $5, it adds up. He's raised over $5 million this week. Do not donate to any other politician other than Trump and, like I said, Marjorie Taylor Greene, but especially Trump.
Yeah.
Because his polls, his lead over DeSantis after the indictment has doubled in all these polls. I'm sure DeSantis is scratching his head now. Asa Hutchinson is running, and his thing is Donald Trump should resign. Do they really believe that he is going to resign? I think they really think he will, that he's going to
drop out of the
race because of this.
Because Asa Hutchinson's in it?
Yeah, he said he should resign. I think DeSantis really believes Donald Trump is going to pull out of the race.
It's out of his mind.
Never going to happen.
Is out of his mind. But I'm happy to see that she's going to be there in New York.
Because she's got balls and nobody else does. She's got conviction. But I want to see, I'm predicting Graham will be there because he needs money. But he's not Trump's friend. I can tell you that. He's a slime ball.
That's for sure.
But let's see who else shows up with her supporting. I'd like to see Matt Gaetz. I'm expecting him. I'm expecting Jim Jordan. All these people that are always defending Trump, McCarthy, I'm expecting them to be there.
Well, what I'd really like to see is all of these Republicans come to Florida and fly to New York with him on Monday.
That'd be amazing. On Trump Force One.
Yeah.
Fly with him. That'd be great.
That's what I'd like to see. And I think a sign of unity like that
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic idea. Not only fly with him, Brian, go with him to the courthouse.
Yeah, exactly.
And go in.
Yes.
And show support. I know a lot of people are afraid to sometimes, but to support Trump, and it's hard because of J6, people are nervous and all this stuff. But we do need to show, the main way you can show support is financially, if you can, is donate to his campaign.
Yeah.
And that gets reported all the time. People report it all the time. I just heard on the news yesterday, he's raised this, he's raised that. It's in all the news. That is the best way to show your support, is to help him raise money for his campaign. I'm surprised he hasn't started a legal defense fund. That might be coming, because he'll make a lot. He'll raise a lot of money to help him. He might, and he should.
Yeah. Now, if you want to support what we do, of course, you can become a Patreon supporter. And when you become a patron of the program, you're supporting this program. And there are perks and benefits, including getting commercial-free editions of each and every podcast episode. And if you would like to support the program by becoming a patron to the program, there's a link in the episode description of this and every episode. There's also a direct link on my website, briancraigshow.com. And the website address going directly to our Patreon page where you can join and become a supporter is patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow. Patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on each and every episode. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Rome, Wisconsin, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, and Arctic Fox. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much. We'll be right back.
Did you know that every year, 975 innocent people are being locked up? DeAndre Daniels is one of them. He was sentenced to 47 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. This could happen to your loved one, your son, brother, uncle, father, or husband. You can help by bringing awareness to this injustice and help DeAndre get a new and fair trial. Sign the petition at change.org under DeAndre D. Daniels. To learn more, visit asateamwematter.life. Don't let another innocent person suffer. Sign the petition and help bring justice for DeAndre and others like him. Find the petition at change.org under DeAndre D. Daniels. Do you need stamps or shipping supplies? Look no further than Postal 23, an online store for all your postal needs. Right now, Postal 23 is having a 25% spring sale off everything store-wide. But that's not all. Postal 23 sells exclusive and unique items like the 2022 Forever stamps, the U.S. flag USPS first-class postage stamps coin roll, and the stamp roll dispenser. And for the little ones, check out the Postal Delivery pullback truck with a roll of 100 Forever stamps. This is a 1/34th scale replica that has doors that open, and it's made by Kintoy. But hurry, this authentic Postal Delivery pullback toy is only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on these unique items and the spring sale at Postal 23. Visit them online right now at postalannex23.com. That's the number 23. postalannex23.com. Start shopping right now. Life can be tough. It's full of trials and tribulations, and sometimes it's hard to find the strength to keep going. But what if I told you that these challenges could lead to great blessings? Author Tyler Osborne knows this firsthand. He's been through some of the darkest days, and yet he's come out on the other side stronger and more blessed than ever before. Tyler's new book, Broken to Be Blessed, is now available on Amazon. In it, the author shares his personal journey from rock bottom to a life filled with hope, happiness, and success. Tyler's story will inspire you to keep going, even when times are tough. You'll learn how to turn your struggles into opportunities and come out on top. So if you're feeling broken, lost, or in need of a little inspiration, check out Broken to Be Blessed from author Tyler Osborne on Amazon. It's the book that will help you turn your trials into triumphs. Broken to Be Blessed, available now on Amazon. Get your copy today and start your journey towards a blessed life.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. And I just got a notification. We have a brand new top Patreon supporter that I want to welcome into our group, and that is Cindy. Welcome, Cindy.
Welcome, Cindy.
All right, well, I'm Brian, always joined, of course, by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Now, so far as I'm concerned, there's only one story and one story only. That is the arrest of Donald Trump, which is just a travesty. But there is one thing I got to mention here that I didn't quite understand. This is this transgender person, Mulvaney. And I saw on Twitter all weekend, Mulvaney with all these Bud Light cans. And I don't watch any of that stuff. I'm not interested in watching this transgender person drinking beer. So I just went through that, and especially since they're arresting President Trump, I didn't know what that was about. And you were telling me, and I'm shocked, that Budweiser has hired this transgender person. And let me read through this.
It gets worse.
The executives who sell Bud Light beer have picked a new spokesman, Dylan Mulvaney, the former gay man who is now pretending to be a woman. I'm reading from Breitbart.
No, her name's Megan Mulvaney now.
Megan Mulvaney now?
I think it's Megan Mulvaney.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm reading in Breitbart. So this is what they're saying. Dylan Mulvaney has become the new brand ambassador for Bud Light. And people are pretty upset about this. And they actually have Dylan Mulvaney on the cans of Bud Light. There's like special...
they made her a special can.
Okay.
Celebrating 1 year as a woman.
Okay, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know who at Bud Light made this insane decision. I don't know what they're thinking. I like Bud Light. I do drink beer, and typically if I drink beer and I order a beer at a bar, I don't have beer at home. I don't have any beer in the refrigerator. But if I go to a bar, I'll either have a Coors Light or a Bud Light. Typically, sometimes I'll get a Mick Ultra or something. But
we went out to dinner last weekend and you ordered a Bud Light.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'll be ordering it anymore.
No, I don't think you should.
But there's some things that are just bad marketing decisions. Okay, and with this transgender person here. Okay, first of all, beer, even light beer, is a man's drink, okay? It's a manly man's drink that guys drink with their sons.
Wine is mostly like with women. Beer, that's traditional.
And it doesn't make sense for a manly drink like Bud to have a transgender person do this. I mean, maybe if it was like wine coolers or something, maybe, but beer. And it's
weird.
And the other thing is this, okay? This particular transgender person is just such a freak and a bizarre, strange individual. Beer is something that you consume. It's not a food, it's a drink, but it's something that you consume. And anything that people are consuming, a drink or food, you don't want something connected to the marketing of it that is unappetizing.
For at least half the country, maybe
And
more.
This Mulvaney, there's just nothing appetizing that makes somebody say, I got to go out and have a Bud Light.
I don't get it.
Bizarre.
And I'm not going to attack this Mulvaney person because they have their own issues.
That you think?
And they did stuff with Biden, and this is like the new trans person of the flavor of the month. He or she, whatever, is getting a lot of endorsements. A lot of companies are working with him or her, whatever. So I don't want to get too much into that. I don't understand, though, the thinking behind it. Like you said, when you do a marketing campaign for a business, it's obviously to appeal to certain demographics. The only thing I can think is that they're trying to appeal to younger people because younger people are all woke and think that this is cool. And this is a social media star. This is somebody big on TikTok who's very trendy right now. And so I think that's what they're thinking. But Budweiser's an old company and
an old American company. Like you said, it's typically a man's drink, beer. I mean, not saying women don't drink beer. My mom likes to drink beer once in a while, but it's typically known as a guy's drink. Yeah.
I don't understand, it's associated with sports and this. I don't understand the marketing logic behind it. Yeah. And then this person, Mulvaney, did a commercial on her or an ad or whatever on her TikTok, and she was in the bathtub naked, surrounded by beer cans.
Oh my gosh!
And then when you see her drink beer, you could tell this is not a person who drinks beer. It's kind of like when Sarah Jessica Parker did a campaign for the Gap. That did not last long because everybody said there's no way this chick wears clothes from the Gap. There's no way this person drinks beer. I mean, you can tell this is, even though this person is biologically a male, this is not a beer drinker.
No.
I mean, you could just tell this is somebody who drinks like champagne or wine coolers and girls' drinks. You know what I mean? It's just a bizarre thing to do.
Sparkling water
they made
or something.
Yeah, they made a special can with her face on it to commemorate her being a woman for 365 days. I mean, that is the most effed up, pardon my French, thing I've ever seen in marketing.
Bizarre.
It makes no sense. It's bizarre. She's a weird person. But it's just a bizarre marketing choice. I think what happens is at these companies, you have one or two people that are super woke and they present an idea and the other people in the company are afraid to challenge it.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on. You have people in the company that have a brain in their head and they're too afraid of challenging these crazy ideas and they just go with it to save their job. I really think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Because there's no way across the board this company thought this was a good idea. But people at the company are scared to stand up to this because they don't want to be labeled transphobic or bigoted. They keep their mouths shut. So good on Budweiser. They're going to lose a lot of business after this. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
It's a weird decision.
I will not be ordering Bud when I next time we go out. I'm not going to be ordering Bud.
No. I wouldn't. I mean, just the fact that they're celebrating a man becoming a woman is just strange.
Yeah.
It's just a strange thing.
For a beer
why
company.
is this being celebrated?
For a beer company. It's bizarre.
For any company, but
it's
especially,
bizarre.
it's just a weird thing to celebrate. I don't, maybe if they did, I just think the trans thing, companies should avoid this altogether.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just think it,
Absolutely.
I think they should have done they could have done a whole thing celebrating women in general and acknowledging their women customers. But this whole thing of acknowledging men that have become women as real women, to me, is an insult to women. I mean, it's just, listen, if you don't get your period and have cramps, you're not a woman. I'm sorry. I mean, if you don't have ovaries, you are not a real woman. You don't know what it's like to be a woman. You might identify as a woman, but to me, it's not the same thing. Just like if you're a woman and you start wearing baggy, guys' pants and put a prosthetic crotch in there in your underwear, that doesn't mean you're a guy. I mean, you might identify, but you have the chromosomes of a man. You are biologically. It's amazing how liberals deny the science of chromosomes.
Well, it's like,
I don't get it.
Like,
you are biologically a male.
When I was a kid at Halloween, I remember some of the things I dressed up as. One year, I dressed up as, for Halloween when I was a little kid, the Coneheads from Saturday Night Live. Remember Dan Aykroyd? I had the Conehead man. Was I really an alien? My first Halloween, I remember wearing a costume. I was the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. I don't think I was the Tin Woodsman. I think I was a boy.
You think this is like cosplay for a lot of these people?
It's cosplay, yeah. And they're doing a lot of brand damaging here with Budweiser.
Well, they are, and what's happening, I just retweeted on your Twitter, another trans person came out speaking against surgeries, and this was a woman who was born a woman, and then she said she went through kind of an identity crisis as a teenager. Teenagers, the reason this trans thing, they've latched onto teenagers is because your hormones are so messed up. They're easy pickings. And she said her parents were convinced by the doctors that she had gender morphia or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever that is.
Whatever, gender issues. And she said her parents, she was 16, approved a double mastectomy.
Oh, my goodness.
She had her breasts removed and started taking male hormones.
Wow.
And now she's back to trying to become her natural-born woman self. Her voice has changed. And she is suing the doctors and her parents. And I told you this was going to start happening. And she said it was tantamount to child abuse. And she said it has messed her up. She said, when you're a teenager, you cannot make these kind of decisions, and your parents should not be making them. It's insane. Your brain is not developed. I mean, I don't understand. They're like Mangala here with experimenting on kids. I mean, that's really what's going on.
That's true.
And she said it is a very lucrative field of medicine, and that's why these hospitals are doing it. It's a cash business, and they're making a lot of money.
Well,
off of
it's like cosmetic surgery and Botox and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Almost every doctor's office does it because it's a way to make more money, and doctors are always looking to make more money. Now, listen, I want to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back into what's going on with the arrest of President Trump, all right? I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for unique and beautiful crafts, gifts, and home decor that will bring happiness to your life? Look no further than veteran-owned Arctic Fox Market, an Etsy shop that's based in Texas and features handmade personalized gifts and home decor with the option for customization. Arctic Fox Market takes pride in their work and strive to create pieces that will bring a smile to your face every time you look at them. They welcome special requests and personalizations, so don't hesitate to message them with any questions or requests you may have. They offer bulk order discounts on select items. Arctic Fox Market is owned by a proud mother of 4 who started creating resin crafts as a hobby, and it's now become her passion. Each piece is unique, ensuring that there are no two exactly alike. Visit Arctic Fox Market right now at etsy.com/shop/Arctic Fox Market Resin. That's etsy.com/shop/Arctic Fox Market Resin. When you visit the shop, view the inventory. You will be impressed. Etsy.com/shop/Arctic Fox Market Resin.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one, get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way, too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Are you tired of feeling too exhausted to exercise or complete your daily routine? Let Dr. R. Ahmed's book, Workout Supplements for Men and Women, available on Amazon, be your solution. In this must-read and life-changing book, the author shares his personal experience of struggling with energy issues and how he overcame them with the help of workout supplements. You will learn about widely used supplements like protein shakes, BCAAs, creatine, nitric oxide, and many more, and discover how they can help you be more energetic and more active. Dr. Ahmed's personal success story proves that supplements, along with a healthy diet, active recovery, rest, and a workout plan, can transform your life. Join Dr. R. Ahmed on a journey to living a healthy and more active life. Order your copy of Workout Supplements for Men and Women on Amazon.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. So I want to get back to the arrest of Donald Trump. Now, President Trump has raised millions and millions of dollars this week since the arrest. And Jason Miller said that 1/4 of the donations that have come into President Trump this week are new donors, people that have never donated before.
Oh, my gosh.
And
crazy.
That's huge.
That must scare the left
that's
a lot.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Listen, if the powers that be knew, it's what we were talking about in the first segment about how after 9/11 the country came together. The powers that be in the media don't understand that the country is unifying around Donald Trump. People that were not even involved in Republican MAGA politics are circling the wagons around Trump. This is an example of it. I mean, Ron DeSantis going to Long Island for this speech during this particular weekend, I don't
know what he's thinking.
It shows how out of touch with reality he is in.
I mean, okay, I went to the Trump website to donate.
Yeah.
And there is
be closer to the mic.
Oh, and there is a box you can tick now. There's a box to tick for to check for monthly donations. And then there's another box you can check. Check this box to pledge your early support on peaceful defense of Trump on the day he is to be arraigned in Manhattan despite committing no crime. So you can donate additional money, I guess, for to go to his legal defense. I'm assuming that's what it is. So that's good. And I don't know what DeSantis is thinking. It's almost like he's trolling.
He's
Trump.
not thinking.
Remember, he did a speech at the Doral right when Trump was going to be there around the same time. He did another speech near Mar-a-Lago. I really don't understand why he's taking such bad advice. We know Karl Rove is managing his campaign.
Yeah, Karl Rove said so.
Karl Rove is managing his campaign. He is the ultimate Bush guy. He did Jeb Bush, George Bush. I think he was with George Bush Sr. He's a Bush guy. So he is managing DeSantis's presidential campaign, and he is running for president. And I tell you what, I think it's really cowardly that he hasn't announced it yet, because he is waiting and waiting for I told you he's been waiting for the indictment.
Yes.
And now I think he's waiting to see if Trump drops out, which is never going to happen. You know, you got to see things the way Trump sees them. He sees all these donations as support, which it is. And he looks at all the money coming in and the new donors, and he says, wow, you know, there's a lot of people behind me. I mean, this is
that's exactly right.
That's how he reads it. He sees the polls, the Fox poll, the McLaughlin, all these really high level polls where he is doubling his lead, all this stuff. And Trump's thinking, I can't walk away from this. Look at all these people supporting me. I can't walk away from the people. They want me here. They want me to run. That's how Trump sees this whole scenario. The more donations that come in,
even if it's $1,
the more support he feels from you guys, and the more resolute he will be to see this thing through.
That's right. Even if it's $1. And
exactly.
You know, I see people in my live stream chat say something that is totally untrue, okay? That Trump wants to get arrested, that this is part of his plan. No, it is not.
That's not true.
You know, New York is left-wing Democrat, okay? No, for him to go to court in New York City with this Trump-hating judge, with this George Soros prosecutor, and a jury made up of liberal Democrat New Yorkers, they're going to get a conviction.
He doesn't want this to happen.
No.
It's a distraction. No. He doesn't want to be arrested. And to think that he does is crazy.
Yeah, and I know people keep saying, well, the evidence. Democrats do not care, okay? And, you know, back in the days when Democrats were lynching black men, and sometimes they would get caught and put on trial, and there would be clear evidence that they did what they did, the Democrat juries would acquit guilty men.
That's what's going on here.
And Democrats have always been corrupt. Look at O.J. O.J. killed 2 people. Jury knew he was guilty, but they acquitted him, okay, even though they knew he was guilty. A Democrat jury. Democrat jurors and Democrat judges do not care about the Constitution or the law.
No, I mean, these are people that hate America. They want to rewrite the Constitution. So they ignore these laws. They sit there. I'm so sick of Democrats like Kinzinger and all these people. Nobody's above the law. Really? Well, they're the ones who are abusing the law.
Apparently Bragg is.
They're ignoring the laws.
Apparently Hunter is, and Joe Biden.
There's a statute of limitations on this thing that they're ignoring. They had 3 other DAs, federal prosecutors that said this is not enough evidence. Federal. So now it's gone to the state guy who wants to make his mark in history, and he will because of this. But these are people that are ignoring the laws and ignoring the constitutional rights of American citizens. So I don't want to hear about Trump being above the law. Give me a break.
Yeah. So the chances of them getting a conviction are about 99%. You know, even though he's done no wrong, and they have, and in fact, the evidence shows that he did nothing wrong, but it's still 99% chance of conviction. So, you know, and he's not going to get a pardon. Presidents can only pardon federal crimes, not local and state crimes. So, you know, he becomes president in 2024. He can't pardon himself on New York crimes.
No, but maybe there'll be a president after him that will do it.
Presidents cannot pardon local crime. Presidents can only pardon people on federal crimes.
Oh, well, there you go.
So he's not going to get a pardon from any Democrat governor in New York ever, even though Governor Cuomo says this is wrong. If he became governor again, he'd change his mind real quick.
Well, you know, a lot of people, even Jeb Bush defended Trump. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. It's fake. It's because they see the way the wind is blowing. and they don't want to come. They don't want to be on the wrong side.
They're playing both sides.
And the fact that you have all these people that hate Donald Trump defending him, it tells you the tide of the country, because they don't want to upset the majority of the country and say something that's not popular. So it tells you that that's,
Yeah, Jeb Bush saying this is wrong, in a very not strongly worded statement.
Yeah, he's loving it.
See, they think that we're all stupid. So they think they're going to lock up President Trump. He's going to be forced to be out of the race. And then when they come in, they're going to be like, well, that was a travesty of justice. So vote, we're not going to vote for you, Jeb. And Ron DeSantis, this weekend, it's over for him. Ron DeSantis is no longer electable.
I don't think he will ever win Florida.
In Florida. No, he couldn't win.
And he has to win Florida to win.
He could not win. And if he had pulled this before the election, Charlie Crist would be our governor today. If this happened before the election, he would have been done.
He is either in such a bubble, a Bush bubble, or he's really not as intelligent or astute as we thought.
Could be both.
Maybe it's a combination. But I think he's really insulated right now.
Yeah.
And I think he's living on his little island with his cronies. And I don't think he's really in touch with, or he sees the polls. He sees what's going on. He sees donors getting nervous. Is he just ignoring this and saying, I think he has people like Karl Rove telling him, don't worry. Jeb Bush's whole thing was the turtle beats the rabbit. Remember, he used to say that all the time?
How well did that work out for him?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
No, not with Trump. And I think that's what they're telling DeSantis. Wait it out. He's going to resign. He's not going to be on the ballots. It'll be fine. It'll be smooth sailing for you. Nothing with Trump is smooth sailing, by the way. Nothing. It's always rocky with him. He doesn't let it go smooth. But I think that's what they're telling DeSantis is don't worry. He won't be on the ballot. He won't even be a player. So just keep steady the course.
And there's another thing okay. Today, Sunday, Newsmax did special reporting all through the whole midday on the Trump indictment. And they did pretty good stuff, and they had special live programming about it. You got to keep your TV locked on Newsmax. Fox News, I'm so sick of them playing both. Now, I know they're covering this now, but
they're fake.
I'm so sick of them. And Fox News and the rest of the news keep talking about Ulysses S. Grant and this speeding ticket and his buggy and with his horse. First off, I'm not so sure he really got arrested there. Second, what they're trying to do with that is saying, well, look at Ulysses S. Grant was president. He was an ex-president, and he got arrested for this speeding ticket with his horse and buggy to make it sound like this is normal.
Yeah, like this is okay.
To
soften the blow.
Ulysses S. Grant was a great man. Okay, he defeated the Democrat Army of the Confederacy. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's a hero.
He was a Republican, and General Lee was a Democrat, and the Democrat insurrection known as the U.S. Civil War, he won it for us. However, he was a man with a very severe drinking problem. Mm-hmm. He was a hardcore alcohol.
That's what killed him. I think his liver.
After you won the Civil War and were president of the United States for 8 years, and then you got nothing to do, you're going to turn to get. Sometimes guys like that, they didn't have TV back then. They didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
So he turned to
just
booze.
Drink yourself to death.
So I don't know
maybe he was drinking and
driving. I don't know the whole story about this buggy speeding arrest thing. And I don't think anybody does. I think it's more legend than fact.
I didn't even know they gave speeding tickets for horse-drawn buggies. That's crazy. I never even heard of that.
My guess would be that whatever happened here, these cops at the time, they saw General Grant and he was falling down drunk.
Probably. And
they picked him up to save him from embarrassing himself.
His horse is swerving.
Or puking on himself.
Who knows?
Or getting robbed by, a lot of poor people around then, walking around. It wasn't like, okay, we're going to arrest you. You're speeding on the buggy with the horse.
It's not even a fair comparison.
And I'm so tired of them saying that. Like, well, no other presidents have been arrested. Ulysses S. Grant was, these people are sick.
I think the two guys you need to watch are Rob Schmidt and Greg Kelly.
Well, Greg Kelly comes on after I'm in bed.
Other than you, well, I'm not saying you, I'm saying that to the audience. You can record it.
But Rob Schmidt's on at
TV,
7.
Those are the two biggest Trump supporters. And
Yes.
they know he's being railroaded, and they have really good guests on,
Yeah.
and they really analyze it very well. So Rob Schmidt at 7 and Greg Kelly on at 10. You can record Greg Kelly if you're in bed early like Brian. They're both fantastic, and they have really good guests. Except for today, they had 2 guests on Newsmax, which I don't understand. Barney Frank,
I don't understand why
who's
he's there.
horrible at tech.
Yeah.
And he even said he's employed by Newsmax, and Judge Napolitano.
Yeah. Who hates Trump, too.
So cut them loose, Newsmax, okay? I don't need to see Barney Frank's analysis, even though he defended Trump, but who cares?
You know, what I'm not really interested in hearing is the liberal viewpoint on anything.
I agree with you.
I
on
just
that.
don't care.
Yeah, who cares?
I know what they think. Trump's bad. He should be. I don't care what liberals think. They're terrible people, and I have no interest in hearing them.
You can't trust them.
Fox for years, they always got their token liberals. I have zero interest in hearing them. And Newsmax,
Yeah, they're starting. I don't know why they're doing that.
I don't know, but get rid of Barney Frank. Barney Frank, for those that don't remember, is the first openly gay member of Congress. He was in the House of Representatives, hardcore Democrat, nasty as Joe Biden, and his boyfriend was running a male prostitution ring out of Barney Frank's house.
I mean, do better, Newsmax.
It got exposed, and he still got elected many times after that. And he said, "Well, I didn't know. I didn't know why these guys were coming and going from my house all day. Really,
it's just incredible. You think about Ted Kennedy and Chappaquiddick, and that guy served in the Senate for years and years and years after that, ran for president. And they're going after Trump over this stupid thing. Well, he's going to go there Tuesday, obviously plead not guilty. They are going to get their mugshot and their fingerprints, but I don't think the Secret Service will allow him to be put in jail. Thank goodness. He's going to go back to Mar-a-Lago, and it'll be interesting when they decide to have the hearing, and I think they might postpone it till after the election. I could be wrong. And if they're going to televise the hearing, which I sure hope they do.
I hope they do,
It
too.
will be must-see TV. I think it'll be bigger than OJ or as big as OJ. What do you think? The OJ trial, this might be bigger. This is a president. This is Trump.
The thing is this. Apparently they can't. In Florida, we air everything on TV, even arraignments. In California, they do, too. In New York, they can, but don't always do it, from what I understand, because I haven't really followed.
Oh, the networks are going to want it for sure.
But they may not want to air this because the case is a made-up, flimsy case.
True.
And if we can see it, that's going to become apparent as opposed to the reporters coming out of the courtroom and we don't see it. And then
or see how they can spin it.
They can frame the narrative any way they want. Well,
That's
in court
true.
today, when we see them arguing stupid things that make no sense, as opposed to them coming out crafting a narrative.
Yeah, that's true.
They may not want the cameras in there.
And we'll see how
hope
the
they
judge
do.
is, how biased he is.
Well, that's another thing they don't want us to see.
Right. And so that's probably true, unfortunately. I wish they would air it, but I think you're right about that.
Yeah. It still hasn't sunk into me this has happened. I'm like in shock still.
Well, how do you think Trump feels? I mean, he must be, this has always been kind of hanging over him because they've been threatening this for so long, but now it's actually happening. And I know he knows this is ridiculous, but he's still going to be arrested. And,
That's right.
That's the reality. So you can spin it many different ways in your mind. You rationalize things. He is a human being. He's tough. But there's got to be a part of him deep down that's not happy about this. I mean, no president wants to be arrested
Kathy,
and have
it's
a
an
mugshot.
unknown. He's going in enemy territory, liberal New York City with a liberal justice system. Now, I want to tell you guys,
and it's so sad. That's his home.
Yeah,
that's his hometown.
Kathy and I, it will be 2 months on Wednesday that we've been sleeping on our MyPillow 2.0s with cooling technology. And what this is, it's an upgrade on the MyPillow. Mike Lindell has done the impossible. He's made perfection and perfected it even more, right? And he's taken that great MyPillow that he invented and added to it this incredible cooling technology material that keeps your head and your face from ever getting warm or hot at night. It's amazing. And, your pillow gets hot, you flip it over to get the cool side, right? Every time you do that, you're waking yourself up.
Yes.
Even if you don't remember it, you're interrupting your rested night's sleep. And with the MyPillow 2.0, you will never flip your pillow over again to get the cool side because it's always going to be the perfect temperature.
Yeah, perfect for summertime. And you get buy one, get one, right? So one for you and your partner, or for just you, one you can sleep on, one you can hold on to and be cool everywhere. And if you are going through menopause like me, which is a nightmare, you know how horrible it is. Yeah, for Brian too. The hot flashes.
The mood
gosh. Okay. But the hot flashes in particular are very difficult, and these really, really help with that. They really do, because you're not getting that overheated feeling.
Now, the MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology is buy one, get one free when you use our promo code KANE, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. And by the way, you can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with our promo code KANE, Kane, not just the ones we talk about, okay? But the MyPillow 2.0 is one of those life-changing things, and buy one, get one free. It's a pretty good deal. So go to mypillow.com, buy your MyPillow 2.0, use our promo code KANE at checkout, Kane, and buy one, get one free.
Okay, so I also wanted to talk about the Facebook group. Please join that, Brian Craig Show on Facebook. We have over 3,000 people now in that group, so we're trying to grow that as well. And with our T-shirt shop, we're going to get a new T-shirt shop going with new designs. I'm going to start working on that very soon. And so look for that in the near future. I'm going to come up with some new updated designs, and we're starting a whole new T-shirt shop. So that should be a lot of fun as well.
Well, listen, we're all out of time, but make sure that you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening to the program on. Because we're in one of the most historic times in our nation's history, probably the most historic times in any of our lifetimes, and we're going to be following it all.
I want to say this and give Brian some props here, because
don't let me stop you.
I got to tell you, Brian's a hard worker. I think we all know that, but he really, really kills himself to bring you guys all the news, the latest news, what's going on with Trump. And not only that, he gives you guys a platform to express your feelings and thoughts during his live chats and the live stream. He's streaming on the weekends. He's going to Mar-a-Lago. And I tell you, that is just amazing to me how hard he is working on that. So any support, just watching the videos and liking the videos is a way to support the channel, being Patreon, Super Chats. But you don't have to do anything monetary if you can't. Just watching the videos and being present and liking the videos makes such a huge difference. Sharing, telling your friends really helps support the channel.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys. And everyone, I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll talk to you next time.
Are you a truck or car enthusiast looking to upgrade your ride? Look no further than GroundZeroCustoms.com. GroundZeroCustoms.com is an online store specializing in aftermarket performance and appearance upgrades. They have a vast inventory of high-quality parts and accessories, and they have everything you need to take your vehicle to the next level. GroundZeroCustoms.com offer the best brands in the business, including Baja Designs, Mickey Thompson Tires, 4Play, and that's just the beginning. Whether you're looking for lighting upgrades or suspension modifications, they have you covered. Plus, GroundZeroCustoms.com understand that each vehicle is unique, which is why they offer a wide range of specialized parts and accessories. Upgrade your ride and make it truly your own. Go to GroundZeroCustoms.com and discover the possibilities. You will find an unbeatable selection and everything you need to take your vehicle to the next level. Start shopping right now at GroundZeroCustoms.com.